This video is going to be for all my work friends. I'm going to do an instructional video on how to do an 8 and 2 split. Let me flip around. Alright, yesterday I ended up leaving out. I lined it up so that I would get there at about midnight. This is in Central Time. You can do a 7 and 3 split or an 8 and 2. The math still works out the same. But I utilize this to actually make it so I can leave 2 hours later but still have time at 8 o'clock in the morning when they want me to be rolling again. Here's my pre-trip from way earlier, and then I actually got fuel on Sunday morning, and then I just sat. But then I ended up driving out to Ann Arbor, which took almost 4 hours. If you look, it actually technically took 3 hours and 35 minutes, but for simple math's sake, we'll say it took 4 hours. And then if you go to the next day, I did exactly 8 hours and 3 minutes in the sleeper berth is what it ended up being. And then I showed on duty and unload time, and then I drove to pick up my next load and showed some on duty time, and then went off duty. And then I knew I was going to end up over here at Menards at Holiday City, which we all know is going to take at least 2 hours to load. So basically all you're doing is you're taking your sleeper break, and instead of doing 10 hours here, you're chopping 2 hours of it off and doing the rest of your break over here. And how it works is so I started my day and did about 4 hours back the day before. So you subtract that 4 hours off of your you subtract that 4 hours off of your 11 hours driving, which leaves me about 7 hours driving. So this morning when I got up and hadn't finished my full 10-hour break, I had roughly 7 hours and 25 minutes left of drive time, plus whatever on-duty time that I used. So, and then I started driving, so I can technically drive for 7 hours before I have to take this 2-hour break. And when you take this 2-hour break, it actually puts a pause on your clock, so that your 14-hour clock doesn't keep ticking. So you can actually, while you're doing this, it'll end up, if you count this as part of your day, technically it'll be a 16-hour day, but you're just taking a break that pauses your 14-hour clock is what this does. So if you click off duty, it'll tell you how much remaining time of off duty that you have to show until your 2-hour break is completed. The bigger chunk, whether it's 7 or 8, it has to be in the sleeper berth or else it won't count. But the smaller chunk you can just show as an off-duty time for your break, but it'll actually count down until, so if you go to the clocks page right here, if you notice, my time is still counting down on my 14. But what happens is, as soon as this clock runs out, it gives me that 2 hours back and then pauses your 14. So it doesn't have to just be 2 hours that you take for a break. It'll pause your clock for as long as you need it paused. It can be 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever you need. As long as you did your 7 or 8 hour break the night before, that 2-hour break can be longer than 2 hours. And then as soon as you do that, you gain the rest of your time back. So if I go back to the hours of service page, yeah, as soon as I complete this, it'll just, so when I woke up this morning, it took off the 2 hours before. So it actually counts from the day before when I started and how much time I had left before I went into the sleeper berth. And that's how much time left I'll get back the next day. And then as soon as you do this break, it counts from right here. So it'll take off whatever you drove that day, and then you'll gain back, so you can actually drive full days. So it ends up being a full 16-hour day with 11 hours driving, but you're just taking your 10-hour break and splitting it up. Especially works out well if you know you're going to be somewhere for a while. It's beneficial if you know you're going to go to one of these crappy places that we load at and you're just going to be hanging out, like Holiday City Menards, where you're just going to be sitting, hanging out in your sleeper berth eating. If anybody has any questions or wants me to add anything, I will add some stuff, and I'll reply to stuff in the comments. And if you can hit the like and subscribe button, I would like that a lot. Thank you.